Right now on ABC 10 News at 4 o'clock, PFIZER now says its vaccine is 100% effective in children ages 12 to 15. We speak to a local teenager who participated in a PFIZER vaccine study. Summer-like weather county-wide and Santa Ana winds. We're tracking conditions in your area. And our series Positively San Diego, the local high school sophomore named San Diego County Youth of the Year.
ABC 10 News at 4 starts now.
Because if it's 100% effective, then a lot more likely that people will be able to go back to school soon.
A Forest Ranch teenager who participated in a PFIZER vaccine study is speaking out after clinical results were released. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Kimberly Hunt. As ABC 10 News reporter Michael Chen found out, experts believe the impressive result could hasten the timeline for teenagers to return to school.
This is a photo of then 15-year-old Kyle Sullivan and his mom in December before he got his first dose while participating in a PFIZER COVID vaccine study for teens ages 12 to 15.
A bit of a stomach ache, headache, and a bit of a fever.
Sullivan suffered a day of side effects after each of the doses. The study was recently unblinded, and he learned he did in fact receive the vaccine. The results of the study.
Yeah, that's really amazing.
Released Wednesday, PFIZER says in a trial of more than 2,200 participants, the vaccine's efficacy was 100%, and it was well tolerated in the teens.
I definitely hope that'll help stuff return back to normal. Because if it's 100% effective, then a lot more likely that people will be able to go back to school soon.
Experts say while the 100% efficacy may dip with a larger sample size, the results are impressive.
Given the level of virus-neutralizing antibodies that we're seeing in adolescents, it's going to be a pretty damn good vaccine. I think there is some urgency to try to do this by the fall. And so I think over the summer, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing adolescents get vaccinated.
Back in Forest Ranch,
Encouraging everyone I know to get it.
Sullivan, a sophomore at Del Norte High, says with the results, he believes his friends will likely want the vaccine. Right now, he's on a hybrid learning program and hoping for a full return to in-person learning.
I'm looking forward to it a lot. I'll be able to see my friends consistently. I'll be able to see my teachers more, get a lot more help with work. I think it'll be a lot better.
Michael Chen, ABC 10 News.
PFIZER says it will submit the data to the FDA for emergency usage of the vaccine as soon as possible. Meantime, both PFIZER and Moderna have vaccine studies underway involving children as young as 6 months old. And starting tomorrow, Californians ages 50 and up will be eligible to get vaccinated. Everyone 16 and older will become eligible 2 weeks later on April 15th. In a new ABC 10 News Union Tribune poll, we ask viewers what they think about the vaccine eligibility rollout. 46% said it's happening at about the right pace. 35% said it's too slow. 12% said it's too quick. And 7% say they're not sure. And just in, Johnson & Johnson vaccine doses are delayed after a mix-up at a U.S. factory. According to the New York Times, a plant in Baltimore manufactures 2 vaccines, and workers there ruined 15 million doses after accidentally mixing up vaccine ingredients. And that forced future shipments of the J&J vaccine in the U.S. to come to a halt. Federal officials blame the mistake on human error. The FDA is investigating. One local school district in the county is staying closed for the rest of the school year. South Bay Union will remain closed until July 26th, this according to the UT. And it comes even though the county is in the red tier, which allows schools to reopen. This district serves mostly low-income Latino students. Board members say they're worried about safety because the Latino community has been hit hard by the pandemic. But many parents question the board's decision. And now to our weather. It was packed today at the beaches. This looks like summer. And this is video from earlier today in Mission Beach. We're also experiencing some Santa Ana winds, which don't happen often in March. The National Weather Service confirmed the last Santa Ana event during this time of year was in 2019. So let's bring in our weather anchor, Jennifer De La Cruz. She's tracking these conditions. Jen, it really does feel like summer out there.
Hey, Kim, yes, definitely was a warm one. We officially broke a record in the downtown San Diego area with a high of 86 today. So the rest of the records haven't come out yet, but of course I will keep you guys posted on that. But record-breaking temperatures in San Diego today, and it's easy to see why. We are 23 degrees warmer right now in Imperial Beach than we were at this time yesterday. So those Santa Ana winds brought in a lot of dry air and really bumped those temperatures up. Lots of sunshine, but certainly well above where we should be for this time of year. As of right now, 80s for much of the county, upper 80s in Escondido, Kearney Mesa, 86 for El Cajon, a toasty 89 right now in Chula Vista. So definitely does not feel like spring here in San Diego. We do still have Santa Ana winds in Escondido, Alpine, Julian, and Mount Laguna, but those wind advisories have expired. So we do have cooler temperatures on the way. I'm tracking when that's going to come, coming up in your 7-day forecast.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Jen. And a year after it failed to pass, Measure C could be resurrected by the City Council next week. It would have funded a convention center expansion and pay for road repairs. And now the City Council is reviewing it at the request of Mayor Todd Gloria. ABC 10 News anchor Mary McKenzie explains how it could be back up for debate.
The City Council will discuss a staff report on Measure C and discuss Gloria's request on Tuesday. They could declare retroactively that it passed with a simple majority, a year after it failed to get a supermajority. Let's go back to explain. Last March, the Citizens Initiative, which would fund the expansion of the convention center, homeless initiatives, and road repairs, got about 65% of the vote. It fell short of the two-thirds majority typically required for tax increases. Since then, several court decisions in the state have concluded that citizens' measures only require a simple majority to pass. Now, after urging by supporters, Gloria wants the City Council to re-examine and declare that Measure C did pass. It wouldn't happen automatically, though. The staff report says the city would not take action unless it receives a favorable trial court judgment or outcome in a validation lawsuit. That could take months, and the process would certainly be challenged, potentially by people like homeless advocate Michael McConnell, who fought it before as well and calls this a bait and switch.
To go and tell those folks that their vote didn't matter, their vote didn't count. A year after the election, I think people are going to see that as awful fishy. But this measure did not guarantee 1 cent of new money to get folks off the street.
The mayor, in a statement today, said in part, "We should pursue obtaining a court determination to ensure we can proceed with its implementation." A majority of San Diegans voted to expand the convention center, repair our streets, and finally have a dedicated funding source for homeless services and shelter. It's our duty to implement their will and make San Diego a better place for all of us. Mary McKenzie, ABC 10 News.
Police are looking for a second man they say is involved in a deadly home invasion robbery in Mount Hope last night. This happened at a home on 43rd Street. Police say a 62-year-old man got home to find 2 men waiting for him. One had a gun. At some point, police say the resident got a hold of that gun. They say one of the intruders then rushed the resident who opened fire, killing the intruder while the other intruder took off. If you have any information, please call SDPD or Crime Stoppers. And we continue to track the murder trial of former police officer Derek Chauvin. One witness was brought to tears in court today, reliving the moment George Floyd died. Court TV legal correspondent Shanley Painter is in Minneapolis with details.
Big moment inside the Derek Chauvin murder trial courtroom with a witness, a bystander, McMillan, breaking down on the witness stand after watching police body cam video of the incident that he personally witnessed May 25th, 2020. He was one of the first bystanders and the only to watch almost the entire struggle between George Floyd and police on that fateful day.
At the time I was engaged with Mr. Floyd, that the officer was, trying to get him in the car and everything, talking to him, and I was telling Mr. Floyd, just ply with him, get on in the car because you can't win.
Jurors also heard compelling testimony from Chris Martin, the Cup Foods cashier, who chatted with George Floyd just before he was detained by police. He said this about George Floyd's demeanor.
So when I had asked him if he played baseball, he went on to respond to that, but it kind of took him a little long to get to what he was trying to say, so it would appear that he was high.
Later today, we expect more testimony from other bystanders and those present at the scene during the incident with George Floyd, and we'll continue to keep you up to date on the latest from here in downtown Minneapolis. I'm Chanley Painter with Court TV.
The newsfeed starts with some reasons to feel good about the economy. Payroll company ADP says that company payrolls expanded at their fastest pace this month since the fall. Experts say hope for a rebound has been pushing companies to hire. But where news isn't as good is with really what this pandemic has done to the gap in pay between men and women. The World Economic Forum says the pandemic has rolled back years of progress, experts pointing to saying that it will take 268 years for men and women to receive the same paycheck for similar work. Well, those who collect Social Security should expect their stimulus check next week. The IRS says it will be sending them on April 7th. There was a bit of a paperwork issue that delayed payments to federal beneficiaries after payments started to go out just a couple weeks ago.